A miserable childhood. That's how Pulitzer Prize-winning author Frank McCourt describes growing up in the back lanes of Limerick, Ireland in the 1930s and 40s. He tells his story in a brutally frank memoir entitled Angela's Ashes. It was published in 1996 after he retired as a public school teacher in New York City. The following year, it won the Pulitzer Prize for Literature. McCourt's tragic yet triumphant story is the focus of a museum that opened in Limerick in 2010. This was once the Leamy School for Poor Boys on Hartstongue Street. It was built in 1843. McCourt was a student here from age 4 to 13 when his formal education in Ireland ended. He writes about growing up in crushing poverty, neglect, and abuse. His father was an alcoholic who abandoned the family, forcing his mother Angela to beg for charity and the children to gather coal that fell from wagons and to pick through garbage for food. The museum was lovingly created by Una Heaton, who purchased the building long after the school was closed. The classroom has been faithfully restored. Other rooms recreate the squalid living conditions the McCourt family endured after moving back to Ireland in 1934. McCourt was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1930, but the Great Depression forced the family back to Ireland, where things got even worse. In 1947, McCourt, at age 17, moved back to America. Poor, uneducated, unskilled, but with great street smarts, courage, and an immigrant zeal to succeed, he began following the American dream. After a tour in the Army, he attended New York University and became a public school teacher. He always told his students to write about their lives, but he didn't do that himself until he retired and was in his 60s. That's when he thought his young granddaughter might like to know something about the family history. McCourt went on to write 2 other books, Tis and Teacher Man. Frank McCourt passed away in 2009 at the age of 78. He called himself a late bloomer, once describing his life as an epic of woe. But his life had meaning and purpose, and his story has given hope and inspiration to many. Limerick and Ireland have changed greatly since young Frank lived in the lanes. Perhaps his story played a part in the transformation. The Frank McCourt Museum in Limerick, Ireland is a must-see for those who read and loved his books, and for those yet to discover this great writer, this son of Ireland and son of America.